But there's a second part of the gospel that I think it's time for the church to engage in, and that's a demonstration of the gospel. It's being the good news in a world that is dark and divided. It's being in the good news that we proclaim. And I'll confess to you, what I'm about to share with you, I would have loved not to have talked about today. But it's not getting any better. We live in a country today that is socially and racially divided. And it's time for the church to stand up and be the good news. I'll just go ahead and just be as vulnerable as I can and try not to cry when I tell you this, but I said horrified as I watched the events unfold in Charleston with that Bible study that had invited that young man into their Bible study, and he shot and killed 11 of them. If you really want to read something tragic, read about how it unfolded at the trial. It was unfathomable. I just hated when I watched that. I have a dear friend that I'm in school with, and he's a part of the leadership of the AME church. And those are just good people that were shot because their skin was different. Then I watched the hatred spewing there in Charlottesville, and I just got to tell you, it was just like, dear God, maybe this will stop. And then one of our favorite pastimes, the NFL, is using it as a protest. And that's only adding to the hatred and division in our world. And I thought, what would God have you and I be today? Because I'm going to tell you something that will never change. Hatred will never change hatred. And I don't know if you understand this or not, but when we say that the church is the hope of the world, the church is the only hope of the world. I can promise you this. And I'll just go ahead and, I can't see because those get fogged up. I can just tell you this, that the moment that the church sits on their hands and watches the ugly history continue to spiral down, it's when good people will lose out. And I'm just going to tell you, you and I are here for a purpose. It's God's mission, and he didn't want anybody to miss out on. And I'll just tell you, racism, either if it's a white issue or a black issue, if it's taking away the dignity and respect of anyone, regardless of their gender and ethnicity and political biases, church, there's something bigger than yours and my personal biases. Everybody you lock eyes with matters to God.